I welcome all our viewers for joining us today. Today we are exploring a powerful and timely question: how Nigerian universities are adapting to the changing phase of education, driven by emerging technology and artificial intelligence. Now, we know that globally there is this trend of the shifting from the old system of doing things to the technologically driven system, which is all over the world now. And we want to look at what Nigerian has to do. And with us today, we are delighted to be joined by Professor Atan Amasiatu from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria, an expert in sport and exercise psychology, and who will be helping us to unpack these important issues. Professor, you are welcome to our studios.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Now, to start us off, how would you describe the impact of AI and digital technology on the mission and structure of Nigerian universities?
Thank you very much, sir. One of the things we must identify first is that technology is a growing phenomenon all over the world today. And if that is the case, Nigeria is not left out. But the truth is, are we really prepared for the change? Why do I say that? If we are talking of Nigerians universities per se, what is the function of the university? University is for teaching, research, and community service. And when these things are not properly given the right attention, change becomes a problem. Because you can't talk of AI, whether in technology or any of these aspects, without first asking, do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the manpower? Do we have the resources for the change? And when these things are not considered, teaching and learning will still be theory. Why do I say theory? Because AI is a bridge between theory and practice. All right? And when you don't have the right training, the infrastructure is not there, the power structure is not there. Everything about technology is driven by power. Nigeria is still epileptic towards power.
Are you saying we are still yet to catch up with the global trend? We haven't even begun?
Sir, I can tell you, not that we have not begun. Yes, the desire to have this change is there. But how do you carry out the change without the necessary infrastructure? How do we carry out the change without the technology, without power? All are driven by power. In my university, for example, we are using the national grid all through and generators to drive whatever thing that it has to do with power in the university. But recently, the university came up with a policy to shift from the national grid to begin to put solar panels. And that at least has given the university a little boost to talk about technology this day. So when you are looking at the university per se, what is the paradigm the government has, which is the TED Fund? TED Fund is Tertiary Education Trust Fund, which disposes fund, monitors what happens, and then help to drive whatever development that is going to the universities. And I can tell you, though TED Fund is making effort, but that's not enough. We are still borrowing money to drive the economy of Nigeria. And so when such things are going on, the infrastructure is not there, the funding is not there, the right mindset for the tradition to move from the traditional way of teaching and learning, which will lead to new curriculum studies, which will lead to training the trainer. Okay? Because some of us are analog. I'm a professor, and in my faculty today, everybody calls me digital professor. Okay? Why is that? Because I came to embrace these technologies. Many people have not. And so it requires training the trainer, going for conferences and workshops. But when we are lacking these things, then the trend of change becomes a thing that is just, will I not say, we are still far behind. That's the truth. And so that is affecting every other sector that has to do with education.
But is that why the private universities, is that why they are trending? Is that why they're doing better? because we have
Well,
some of these
yeah, in the
facilities now.
yes, in the private, I'm not in the private university anyway, but my understanding of private university is that most of the proprietors of private universities have focused. Okay, if you are focusing on university, your university becomes a technology university. If it's a private university, but in my university, let me give you an example. We have become an entrepreneurial university. Why? It is about skill. Now we don't have enough of these infrastructures. We are now tailoring our education towards skill. All right? That people will learn skills that will help them employable. It's one thing to have a certificate that is a paper, which is theory, without having a practical aspect of it. And this has also led to our university having what we call WIG and Town Initiative. That is those who are in the industries. I come from the riverine, Niger Delta regions that we have gas and oil and the rest of them. So these companies will now collaborate with those who are in the field, who to come into the university and then collaborate with us. All right? That collaboration has helped a little bit to moving the university from the traditional model of delivery to now begin to have field experiences. This is the same thing. We have given our students to go into IT, to go to do industrial training, so as to have on the spot information on what is going on in the field.
But Prof,
Yes.
but we've had a lot of improvement, positive news from the government, from the media of how they are pouring money into the educational sector, higher educational sector. So
I tell you the truth, this is political.
wow.
It's political. All you see on the social media most times are not real. Yes, granted, you see, when something is epileptic, it's epileptic. One of the things the government will do to make the society know that is a change, true change, is to bring power. I mean, when somebody's in darkness, what are you going to drive technologically? Are you with me? Yeah. So the challenge is the government should do something that will enable this enabling environment that will drive the technology. Yes, we have people going out of the country today for brain drain. Why the brain drain? Because you need to go to where things are working. If a child, to move from the traditional system of learning to now redesign the curriculum in such a way that will be interactive. Okay, it's no longer blackboard. We are talking about smart board delivery. No longer just memorizing and pour and deliver, recite and write exams. But now, technology has brought in innovations. And these innovations will only be driven by power. How are you talking of? You have set up, ICT classrooms and smart board, and there's no light to drive it. So how are you going to do?
So is that one of the reasons why we have this mass migration to Europe and America?
Yes.
For studies in higher education?
Sir, if any parent can afford it, I encourage that. Even TED Fund has come up to sponsor some of us who are lecturers to go out there to be retrained, postdoctoral, go your PhD and rest of them. But most of them, as soon as they leave the country, they're not coming back.
But we hear the government have been doing well in terms of NEL Fund, which is giving loans to students, yes, like we have never seen before.
Sir, the truth is that even now they are clamping that on that. Why? Many of those that have left are not ready to come back. They're ready to refund any money to the government. If I've come to UK, for example, and I've done my training, to come back to give back to the society, to give back to my university becomes a problem. Because here in UK, everybody is working. Everybody is making money. Even though you are going to school, you are still working. You earn something. And when your money has value, you are ready to pay back anybody, to pay whatever thing the government paid, used in sponsoring you. And then look for greener pasture. So why come to a place of darkness when you know there's a greener pasture for you to grow and develop your skill and your expertise in your area of expertise?
So we still have a long way to go.
The truth is that most Nigerian universities, I say most Nigerian universities, are still struggling to catch up with the technology that we are talking about today. The reason is obvious.
So what
So in the private universities, some of them are picking up. But picking up is still cannot be compared. The power, there's an aspect the government has to put in, bringing power, electricity, where you're using generators 24/7. There's a lot you cannot do. There's so much you cannot do when there's no power.
So,
So the funding is not enough. How do I know a growing economy? One is their education, two, the technology, and then the primary health sector. This is the one thing Nigerians are lacking. Nigerian government will come out to the public and tell us the stories that they're equipping. Why do we go for strike almost every now and then? Every university in Nigeria, every public university now and then. These last few months we were on strike. And that can be any time because the government, make agreement, we come with the government, sign agreement, MOU, they are going to do this, they are going, all are on paper. And they have not been able to fulfill that. Meanwhile, somebody who is sitting there in the whether it's House of Representatives or Senate or making policies are there, they have votes that cannot be touched. And a peanut given to the university lecturer for his end services are not taken care of.
But what you are saying, is that peculiar to all the regions or just some regions in the country?
I am telling you it is in all the regions in the public universities. The only distinction we have is state fund in distributing these resources, which is our common resources. If I am he who beats the piper, the state is tone. If I am the chief executive of state fund, I will want to focus in my area, the universities in my area. Disperse fund, give approval. But this is the problem of these geopolitical regions we have in our Nigerian system.
But that's a bias
quota
system. But that's a bias
quota system. It does not, it has made, in the past, we have the A universities. And those A universities are given attention to. But today, it's affecting everything. It's affecting the process. It's affecting admission of students. It's affecting the manpower delivery. No, if you check the ratio between a lecturer-student ratio, you will know that we are not yet there. Many students in the university system, if you get to the classroom, people are crowded in the classrooms. You cannot, some of the universities cannot even step into their hostels. Many students are staying out of the campus because the facilities are not there. The hostels are not there. If you compare the time you went to school and what is happening now, there's no new transformation that could be laid hold on that have taken place. Meanwhile, we are a country of 200 something million.
Prof, the picture you are painting is a very disheartening
I need to tell you the truth. I don't want to tell you what is not obtainable.
So what do we think is the future of the coming generation? Because the youths are the future of the country.
That is what is leading to what we are seeing in our society today in Nigeria. The Nigerian factor has affected every nook and cranny of the society. The Nigerian factor. What do I mean by Nigerian factor? Somebody has certificate, but the certificate cannot be used for anything.
What about the admission processes?
Oh my God. It's that same quota system is affecting it. You see somebody who has 150 in the north studying medicine. Meanwhile, somebody who has 300 JAMB score in the south and southeast will not have admission. So who you know matters so much.
So the system is faulty.
Everything is. Corruption has eaten the debris of our Nigerian society and is affecting everything. But I tell you, we are trusting that change will come from the top. Because what will make a right change in the society today is a leadership structure that is a leadership that you can lay hold on, that are patriotic, that are accountable, and are ready to bring the necessary change that we need.
Wow. Wow.
That's the truth.
Wow. Recently, a prominent pastor, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, he said Nigeria is dead. Are you of the opinion that the academic education in Nigeria is also dead?
It's not left out.
It's not left out.
I said everything is epileptic.
Wow.
Nigerian education is not left out. The traditional system is still the traditional system. Okay? It has become an endemic problem that needs to be taken out. And if you want to take it out from the society, it has to be systematic. Okay? It is a reform that has to be transformational. And this reform will have an idealized influence. Somebody who is there as a leader and he said, this is what I stand for. And it could be proved that he stands for it. That is, when we talk about transformational leadership, we talk about idealized influence. That's the 4 components: inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and idealized support. When you have people who are not patriotic, they're only looking for what they can gain and enrich their generation, then we will see the society is going down. So what that pastor said, he must be correct.
So as a professor,
Yes,
that have been in the academic setting for a very long time,
that's right.
are you admitting that you are part of a failed society or
Well,
a failed system?
part of the failed system, yes and no. Why do I say yes? Everybody who is a Nigerian is affected, because those who are at the top and those who are the top echelon of the society, who are our leaders, they are educated but not educated. It's one thing for one to go to school and have certificate. Many of them, even the certificate cannot be proved. That's another thing. Okay? We have leaders who are not patriotic, who are only interested, when the right influence is not there, what kind of society are you going to have? You have a society that is lopsided. Those who are leading, those who make policies, have no interest on the change that will help the masses to become what they're supposed to be. Number 2, we have leaders who are only interested. At times it worries me that they go out to these nations that are developed, and I've seen these things, and they come back to our own nation, our own country, and they are not sensitive to change. So we need a total overhaul in Nigeria. And I bet you that is the only way we can move forward. AI, technology, and whatever, they are beautiful. And Nigeria will desire to queue in with other nations, but we're still far away from it because we don't have the drive to make it become a reality.
Wow.
Thank you.
Professor Amasias,
That's right.
it has been an incredible depth of insight in this conversation, with all the challenges that you have outlined in this series. It makes it very difficult to see any evidence of growth, transformation, or progress in our higher education setting. And that has made it very difficult from your explanation.
That's right.
I want to say thank you for coming to our studios. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.